video. And how was it filming it?
A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Like I was talking about with like yellow fever or with that, my chair is moving. Like I was talking about with yellow fever and Bad Day Blackout, changing channels was just a fun, crazy, kooky episode. When we read it, and changing channels was, I think, right next to Real Ghostbusters, right? It was really close. So we had these two really fun episodes happening pretty immediately. So changing channels was funny, but when I read it, I was thinking about like Nutcracker and like some of the other things that I was like, why do I have to do that? Like, why am I, when I'm standing there like that? When you read that in the script, you think to yourself like, do the writers not like me? Like, why are they doing that? Why are they writing these things in the episode? Like, what's their problem with me? But it was a lot of fun. And it was fun like making fun of Grey's Anatomy and CSI and stuff like that. Yeah. And then the old like classic sitcom where it's like a sandwich.
No varmaan pääsee tätä.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But I hope we get a chance to do more of that.
Mitä meillä on lopputulos? 40 minuuttia päästä. Saattaa ei.
Ai.
Sitten pitää jostakin löystä.
Yes. The lines for dialogue and stuff like that are pretty easy because you're just talking to each other. And it's easy to memorize a scene the more you do it because it's like, what'd you do today? I woke up, I slept in, and then I had breakfast. What'd you eat for breakfast? Oranges and pancakes. Were they any good? The oranges were sour, like it's easy. Then what'd you do today? I slept in late, and then I had breakfast. What'd you eat for breakfast? Oranges and pancakes. Was it any good? So, I mean, it's easy to remember back and forth. I say something to you, and I'm almost telling you what your next line is. Because if I say, like, Sam, what happened? Like, Claudine, then it's easier to remember as opposed to a language you've never heard of. And like you just memorize it kind of phonetically. It's almost as if you don't know a foreign language, like if you're trying to learn a foreign language, and at first you don't know what the words mean. So you kind of just remember like, exorcit zambus te, omnis spiritus, omnis infernalius, omnis blah, 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 blah. And so you have to sort of, at first you don't have any idea what it means, and you're just kind of guessing. But luckily it's television and not a play, and so if you mess it up, they go cut, and you get to try it again. So thankfully, I don't know if I do that on a play, but for a TV show, I think it'll be all right. Thank you.
You know, now that you know the exorcism, would you try to use it if you found yourself?
I probably would. I'd probably give it a shot. What is it? That came out of the sky. That's what you guys have done it so much. You know what I had to learn? Usually you can kind of fake it, and sometimes they can have, like if this is the camera and I'm filming you, then it can be right beside the camera to where it looks like you're looking at somebody, but you're looking at the lines. But the episode we had in the police station with Lily Woodfield and the demons were all coming in. It was close to Born Under a Bad Sign. It was season 3. Anyways, when we're exercising him in the jail cell and having to duck his head and like, blah, 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 blah. I had to memorize it because I couldn't hold it. And so we're sitting there and I'm like, oh. And we got to the day I was supposed to shoot it, and I didn't really know we were going to be shooting it that day. And so I'm sitting there literally trying to like dunk him in the toilet, and I didn't know what to say. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I didn't know. And luckily, I just remembered. I don't know how I remembered, but luckily I did remember. So it kind of worked out. But I surprised myself. I guess I still remember it. So. Thank you. Over here.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Carmen. I'm from Madrid.
I'm Jared from Texas.
The Rising Dawn was originally going to be in Madrid, but you prefer Barcelona?
Who told you that?
I don't know, but anyway, I hope you'd like to come to Madrid next time.
I'd love to. I think the way it worked out is that it's easier to get to Barcelona than to Madrid because it's closer. Because people from Spain can go to Barcelona, and it's also shorter for people from France or Italy or London. So it kind of meets in the middle. Because I'd love to go to Madrid. I'd love to go to Sevilla, Madrid. I'd love to go all over the places. So I think it just happened to work out that Barcelona had a big meeting place. But I will absolutely go to Madrid.
Okay, the question was not that. The thing is, your character has evolved a lot since the beginning, both mentally and physically.
What do you mean physically?
The thing is, I think you have to ask permission for changing your physical appearance when you are in a show, when you have a contract. So I'm wondering, your change came from you or came from the show?
Well, when I believe you basically said that I changed physically a lot from the beginning to now, right?
Yeah.
I think part of it was that before we found out that Sam had powers and stuff like that, these guys were supposed to be demon hunters who could win bar fights and who could protect themselves. And so you didn't want two guys like, you know. So half that they wanted us to be big enough to where we weren't like two pretty boys, but we were kind of like big guys, you know. And I think y'all all met us now. We're both pretty big guys. I think we're bigger than we even look on TV. And even people always think Jensen's the short one, but he's still tall, you know. It's just I'm really tall. So part of it came from me, and it just became a hobby. And also, when I started the show, I was 22. And I was still growing up, and so now I'll be 28 in a month. And I think I've kind of just grown up, you know. Like I think if we started the show now, when I'm 28, then I wouldn't be that different at 34. But since I was still kind of a boy, I was a very young 22-year-old. Like I wasn't. Some people are fully grown by 22. I was a late bloomer, and so at 22, I still had a lot of growing to do. But yeah, I look at some of the pictures from season 1, and I'm like, who was that guy on the show? I don't know who he is. And I'm like, oh, that's me. Oh, I see. Fine. So what happened?